On the 568th day of the war in Ukraine, the fighting was concentrated in these areas. Today, the Ukrainian army organized another powerful attack on the Russian military facilities in Crimea. After yesterday's attacks that severely damaged the Russian landing ship and a submarine in Sevastopol, today the Ukrainian army targeted the Russian air defense positions near Yevpatoria and managed to destroy a S-400 air defense system. According to Russian and Ukrainian sources, the Ukrainian army applied the same strategy that they used in previous attacks that took place 3 weeks ago near Olenivka, resulting in the destruction of another S-400 system. In the early hours of the morning, Ukrainians launched several drones from the northwestern shores of the Black Sea. According to Russian sources, a swarm of at least 11 unmanned aircraft were detected by the Russian air defense, which reportedly managed to shut down some of the Ukrainian drones, like the one you see on this video. However, this time in a similar way with the attack carried out a few weeks ago in Olenivka, the swarm of drones was used to expose the exact location of the S-300 and S-400 systems that the Russian forces used in this area. At the same time, these waves of cheap drones also serve the purpose of keeping the Russian air defense busy, while the Ukrainian forces deliver the decisive blow using long-range missiles. With the position of the Russian systems identified, and with the Russian air defense engaged in efforts to shoot down the swarm of drones, Ukrainian forces delivered a fatal strike using a modified R-360 Neptune anti-ship missile. From the satellite images taken about 2 weeks before the strike, it is clear that in this area the Russian forces were operating at least 4 S-300 and S-400 launchers, 2 raiders, and many missile containers. Satellite images taken after the Ukrainian attack confirmed that at least one launcher, reported to belong to a S-400 system, was destroyed. Within a month, Ukrainian forces have managed to carry out at least 3 major attacks against the Russian air defenses in Crimea and Kherson front, destroying a significant number of S-300 and S-400 launchers. In the Zaporizhzhia front, the Ukrainian forces made important advances south of Robotyne. During the last 24 hours, Ukrainian forces managed to clear the most fortified part of the trench lines north of Novoprokopivka, taking control of the entire favorable terrain in the heights located just a few hundred meters north of this town. This news was also accepted by Russian sources, who published footage of their army conducting a massive shelling over the area shown on the map, likely using their TOS-1A heavy flamethrower systems. As you can see in this photo, this part of the trench line is the most complex and fortified part of the entire area, and by taking it under their control, the Ukrainian forces gain an advantage in the battles that have already begun to take place in the vicinity of Novoprokopivka. This is because now the Ukrainian forces, in addition to the advances made east of the settlement, also control the dominant heights north of Novoprokopivka, which allow them to establish full fire control over the Russian positions, opening the way for a possible double attack from the north and east. Meanwhile, Ukrainian and Russian sources reported about ongoing battles in the areas between Kopani and Robotyne, with the Ukrainian forces said to be on the offensive. In this video, Ukrainian drone units destroyed an abandoned Russian BMP-1 about 3 kilometers west of Robotyne, confirming the news about the ongoing battles in this direction. Near Kopani, Ukrainian drones detected that Russian forces not only have built new trenches north of the town, but they also seem to be working to build other barriers and fences, which indicates that the Russian forces are probably expecting attacks from the north, in addition to the current ongoing Ukrainian attacks from the east. However, the good news for the Ukrainians is that, according to some pro-Ukrainian sources, the first line of the trench systems between Kopani and Robotyne consists mostly of anti-tank ditches, and also most of the Russian fortifications in the area were built with the idea to stop a possible Ukrainian attack from the north. So the Russian defensive line in this direction is expected to be less effective against Ukrainian attacks coming from the east. Friends, if you like my daily updates, I kindly ask you to hit the like and subscribe buttons, as this will greatly help the channel to reach a wider audience. That's all for today's update. Thank you to my Patreon supporters and have a great day.